Hi, so today we're going to learn how to do clay, and this is just for fun. Make sure that you do your projects before you do any of this. So you don't need to turn these in, but I would love to see what you guys come up with. So to make clay, you're going to need flour, salt, water, and 1/4 cup to measure. So I'm going to grab my flour to start with, and I have my 1/4 cup. For this recipe, you're going to need 1/2 cup. So to get 1/2 cup, you could grab 1/2 cup to measure it, or you can do 2 scoops of the 1/4 cup, because 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1/2. Alright, so I have my 1/2 cup of flour in my bowl. Now you're going to do 1/4 cup of salt, and dump that into your bowl. Then finally we need 1/4 cup of water. Then you can mix it up. You could grab a spoon to mix it, or you could just mix it with your hands if you'd like. I'm just gonna mix with my hands. Make sure you get all of the powdery stuff all mixed together in with your water. Then it's going to turn into kind of like a dough. Like a Play-Doh, or like when you're making cookies. Kind of looks like cookie mix. If you were to eat this, it'd be really salty, not that good for you. Alright, so now I have my dough all mixed up, so I'm just kneading my clay. So kneading your clay is when you're kind of smushing it, working the clay with your hands. The more you work with it, the more doughy it'll get. If it gets a little bit too doughy and it starts sticking all over your hands, you may want to grab just a little bit of flour and rub it in your hands, then knead the clay again. So now we have our clay. You might find that as you're working it more and more, it might start getting sticky, so keep that flour close. You're also going to want just a little bit of extra water. So then if you are putting 2 pieces of clay together, you can have them stick a little bit more easily. So I think with my clay, I'm going to turn it into a flower. You can make whatever you want at home, but I'll kind of show you how you can get this started. So I want to make a little ball for the center. It's feeling a little crumbly, so I think I'm gonna wet my hands a little bit. There we go. Alright, so I have a little ball for the center of my flower. And then I'm gonna roll a few petals. So I'm placing that down right next to it. And this is why you're going to want the water. So I'm going to wet one of my fingers and just pet those 2 pieces together. I wet my finger again, and then I kind of pet it and smush them together. Then you don't see that crease anymore. Then we know these 2 are attached to that center part. And here is my finished clay. So you're going to want to put that onto a cookie sheet that has aluminum foil on top. Then you'll have to ask an adult to help you. You're going to want to cook it in your oven at 200 degrees. Once it's all heated up, put it in the oven, 200 degrees, for at least 1 hour and a maximum of 4 hours. So you're going to pick that time based on how thick your clay is. So I would say my clay is probably about a medium thickness there. So I think I want to put mine in for 2 or 3 hours. If yours is really thick, you're going to want to put it in for 4 hours. If yours is really thin, you may only need to put it in for 1. Then make sure that you let it cool. It's going to be really hot when it comes out. Alright, so yesterday I took it out of the oven and I just let it cool overnight, so then I was 100% sure that it wasn't going to hurt me because it was too hot. Then once it's all dry, we can start painting it. Alright, so here's how mine turned out. I made sure to paint the front, and I painted the back too. So if you do this project, go ahead and share pictures with me. I'd love to see how they turned out. Bye!